Hello WordPress nerds. So this is the video from our web series called uh, Headless WordPress Web App, and in this video we are going to talk about adding header and footer to our web app. So if you are new to this video, I would suggest to start watching this playlist from the beginning so that you know what you are doing in this video. Otherwise, keep watching this video. So first of all, let's start the server for our headless WordPress app. So I'm going to open the terminal in my VS Code and I'm going to run npm run dev. So let's wait for the server. So server is started. Let's access this URL over here. And previously we created two pages. One is the blogs page where we are displaying list of blogs over here, and a single blog page where we can see the detail of particular blog. So we will be adding header and footer to these pages so that we can navigate easily. So let's start adding header and footer. So in this video we are going to see some concept from the React. So it is good to have a React knowledge. If you don't worry. I will explain the way so that you can understand easily. So even if you don't know the React, then still you will be able to learn and understand this stuff. So let's start adding. So let me close this, and first step will be the add header.js into the component folder. So let's add header.js in the components folder, and then let's add header structure from the tail blocks. So first of all, let me open the layout JS as well. So first of all, let's export default function. We will call it header. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, now we will add a header structure from the tail blocks. So let's open tail blocks. So I prefer using tail blocks because I don't know the CSS and all. You can use whatever you want. And let's see the header structure over here. We have this footer. So this is the header. So I like this structure, so I will copy this. So this is again HTML. So in order to use in our React headless app, Next.js headless app, we need to use JSX. So we will convert HTML to JSX. So I'm gonna copy this whole. Okay, we can use this, and I will paste it into the header like this. Okay, then the next step will be add header to layout. So we have created a common layout structure for our app, so we can import header from so where is the layout is already in the component, so yeah, we can use this like this, and then let's add header component here. Sorry about this, guys. So first empty div, because we have to wrap divs if we are going to use multiple divs, and we will be using this header over here. Now let's try to see what we are getting. So let's refresh. So we are not getting header here. Let's see why. So I'm gonna go to pages and blogs, and I used layout here, and in the layout I am sorry, so we have to return here. Sorry, my bad. Now let's see what we get. So as you can see, our header is added. Now let's try to remove some unnecessary stuff. So I'm gonna remove this button, and I will remove this. So first of all, let's remove that button which is here. So in the navigation I will keep one is home, another one is blogs, and I will remove other links. And let's remove this as well. So this is inside blogs.php, sorry, JS. So removed it. So now it is looking nice. Okay, so that's the header we set now. So header is set. Now we want to set our site title over here, which is dynamic. So let me open my WordPress backend here first. And if I go to the setting page here, so this is the site title we want to display here on the site header, and also we want to give link to these links. So first let's try to add link here. So instead of this, let's try to use link component. link component of Next.js, and href equal to, for home it will be slash, and for this blogs. Let's try to refresh this. Sorry. And let's click on home. So yes, we have this home. So in another video we will set the home page as well. As of now, just focus on blogs page and a single page. So on the single page as well, we are having the header. Okay, so now it's time to set the site title from the setting of our WordPress site. So we can have a site title from WordPress JSON API. So let me show you that. For that, I'm opening a Postman. Meanwhile, I'll copy the URL. So if I run this API WP JSON, we have our site name. So we can use this API, and inside this API we can use fields parameter, so that as of now we just want name. So let's get name only from the API. So we will be using this API to get our site title. Now this is the component, and in a component we have to use React functions in order to get the response from the API. So what we are going to do is, first we need to install XCOS. So XCOS package is to use to send and get request response from the site. So I'm gonna open the terminal again. I'm gonna close this and I will run this command npm install XCOS. So I already installed. We can ignore the warning. So once this is installed, let's open the layout.js, because same thing we are going to use into the footer section as well. So we don't want to write same function again and again. So what we are going to do, so we will be using this code block. So let me copy this and I will use this code inside this. Sorry about this, guys. And I am going to explain this code, so just a sec. So in order to send request, we have to use XCOS function. So XCOS get response from a root URL. So what is root URL? Root URL is nothing but this URL. So we are sending request to this URL. And how I set this URL? So in the environment.local, I have specified this next public WP JSON URL, which is this. So I use this constant to set URL in a variable, and I added this field equal to name because we only want name here. So I already covered this part in the previous video, so yeah, you will know if you watch those previous videos and come here. Otherwise, this is just a constant I am using so that it will become dynamic. So in order to change your site, you just need to change the site inside this environment file only. Now let's get back, and we are using this use effect function. So use effect is you can consider similar as jQuery's ready function. So whenever the component is ready, then whatever we write here will be executed. So when the component is ready, we are sending a request and getting the response from our API. Then another thing is to use state. So what is use state? So use state is used to set values based on some operation or event in the React.js. So in this case, we are getting our event will be the component ready. So when the component is ready, it will set data to a specific variable. So for example, here we have written site info, which is the variable which will hold the necessary values. In our case, it will hold the site name. Then the next parameter will be set site info, which is the function which will set value to this variable, and this will be the default data. So whenever the page is loading and whenever the page is loading and response is not came yet from the API, then this data value will be used. So this site info variable which will hold all the values, and this is the method which will set value to the site info. So now this in use effect, we sent request to API and then use this function set site info. So whatever response we get, we set that response into this variable. Now let's console.log this site info, and we will see the response here in the console. So let's refresh this page. So something is wrong. Let me just check the code. Okay, so what was the issue? So whenever we add any new package, then we have to stop the server and start the server again. So I'm gonna start server again and pm run dev. Then we have used some component of React. For example, this use effect site in and use state. So we have to import that component from the React first, and also we use the XUS, so we have to import that as well. So we have to add these two lines. So let me copy this. So we are importing use effect and use state from React, and we are importing XCS from XCS. Now let's try to refresh this page. Still it says use state is not defined. Let's see why. It should work. Yeah. So now let's see and check the console as we added console.log here, and let's see what we get in the site info. Sorry. So we get this data, and in the data we are getting this name. So we are getting proper response. Now let's pass the site info to header as an attribute. Let's say site data. So whatever we pass over here, we will get in that component. So in the component we will pass this props, and now if we console.log this props, we will get the same result we have over here. So in the props we will get site title. Sorry, let me close this blocks.js. So in the header.js, in the props, I will get the site title. So I'm gonna use this props dot data dot name, because site name is in the name object. So now if I run this, it is saying there is no data in that component. So let's try to console.log for the props. And we will check the hierarchy or hierarchy of the object. Okay, yeah, so we have to add the site data as well, because we are passing into this site data equal to, so props dot site data. So I'm going to remove this. Props dot site data dot data and then name, in the site name over here. Before that, let me get rid of this SVG, as we don't want this. So let's refresh this page again, or let's say let's go to this single page. And let's keep an eye on the title. So as you can see, initially it is saying loading because it is sending request to API and response was not get at that time. So meanwhile it used the default value we set over here. So I set the same object with the default values which we are expecting from the API. So yeah, this is how we can set header using React J components and Axios. So in this video we are done with the header. For the footer we will see in the next video. If you have any doubt or question, please write down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video, guys.